Hello everyone of Corpus Christi Parish. Father David just checking in here. I hate being on camera, so I apologize I've not been so present to you as Father Cedar and Father Urako have been in streaming their masses and our staff in sending their beautiful messages of hope. But I'm doing well. Thank you for all of your notes, for your emails, for your beautiful ways that you've reached out to me to offer your prayers and support and ask how I'm doing. As best I can. Of course, we're all stuck inside, but know that while you may not see me every day celebrating Mass by means of these streams, I continue to offer Mass each and every day for all of you with a number of our seminarians who join to assist in the Latin Mass and to serve. Know too, of course, I'm getting out every once in a while in the Jeep, which still needs its exercise. We're storing these conference calls with the bishop and all else that's going on. Plug in my phone in the car and drive around and crush rocks and having a blast. If you remember that TV show, Cribs, for those of you who are a little younger, I'll give you a tour of my house. There's not much there by means of food, so I'm helping to support all the local businesses in Bridgeville by continuing to eat out for almost each and every meal. While the office usually was nice and clean. Of course, it's become a bit of a wreck as Father David has taken over here, even staying some nights here at the office to make sure that everything is running smoothly and that all of the good work of the parish continues. Thank you for so many of you who continue to contribute to the church, sending in your envelopes, making donations as best that you can in these difficult times yourself for the continued work of the parish. Linda and I receive those here, process those, make those deposits, and want to thank all of you for continued support, not only of the parish share and of the work of the parish, but our local food banks and all of those who are in need for our good work. Of course, for those of you, again, who've stopped into the office, you know my battle station over there in the far corner. It, too, has become quite a mess. I'm sorry. Once all of our cleaning staff comes back and we return to normal, I promise I'll keep myself out of the way and be a little more tidy. Now, moving out here into our reception area at the office, I want to share with you something of a little reflection on Good Friday, like the rest of those who've been offering these videos. You know, one of my favorite aspects in books, I guess, letters of the sacred scriptures is the letter to the Hebrews, because it relates everything that we know and love and believe as Catholics so beautifully, explaining even the sacred triduum and what we do in these days, the Holy Thursday, and the double institution of the priesthood and the Holy Eucharist, derived from that great priesthood of Christ himself, our King and our God, on Good Friday, in the great sacrifice through which today the Lord would give his life for all of us that we enter into in Mass, not primarily to be entertained. Of course, not just a community meal, but a sacrifice, first and foremost, that most perfect of all prayer, joining our prayer to his, on to our Heavenly Father. On Holy Saturday, recognizing the intercession and the good care of the angels and the saints for all of us by God's providence, in that Christ would descend into hell, but then raise up all of the righteous alongside him to continue to care for all of us as the Church triumphant. So too then with its Easter joy, sharing with us the glory of the resurrection and all that flows out of the Lord's resurrection for us. Again, self-conscious, I'm on camera. I too am gaining my quarantine 15. Out of all this, the letter of the Hebrews today, again we reflect upon liturgically in our second reading, where we hear of Christ undergoing every test that he could face in this life, a parallel of sorts to how we began this Lent, looking at the temptations of Jesus in the desert. Jesus overcomes them with ever greatest perfection, showing us the way to overcome temptation and difficulty in this life, and to participate in that battle of heaven and hell that wages not only in the world, but in our own hearts and souls, challenging us to look at how we are living through this quarantine. Are we hiding in fear, like the disciples, like the apostles in the upper room? Have we abandoned the Lord in a certain sense, leaving him, like all of those, except for St. John and our Blessed Mother, in the moment of his holy cross? Or are we continuing that good fight, continuing our penance, our mortification, joining in masses, even if we have to watch them on TV, continuing our spiritual life and strengthening it throughout this course of difficulty, building up for ourselves treasure in heaven? Or are we merely building up treasure of this earth, stockpiling toilet paper and provisions, worrying about only those things that can destroy our body and not our souls, as unfortunately we cannot gather together today for Good Friday, know you are all here with me in spirit and in prayer as we offer this beautiful liturgy for the Lord and pray for all of you and your intentions. Looking forward to all of us being back together again, things returning to a bit more of a sense of normalcy, and for the office to be cleaned up and back and functioning as best it can. May God bless you. Go well.